Mic check.
Mic check.
All right. Well, good afternoon, Miss Elizabeth. I am Coquise Turner, as you know,
Yes, I do.
and I wanted to just confirm. May I interview you
Yes, I'm very excited about being interviewed
on
today.
film?
Yes.
Can we use your location,
Yes, you can.
your voice, and your likeness?
Yes.
Fantastic. All right, Miss Doherty, Elizabeth Doherty. So, say your name for me and spell it out for me, please.
Elizabeth Dougherty, Dougherty. Elizabeth, Elizabeth.
Fantastic. So, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I am 45. I'll be 46 in June. I live in Covington, Georgia. I own a consignment store here called Your Sister's Closet. I have owned this location for 8 years. 3 years ago, I opened another location in Monroe and sold it 2 years after opening it to the manager that managed the store here while I was in Monroe. Our store consists of 2,200 consigners, and we probably have 1,700 that are active.
That's
So
awesome.
it's interesting. We take quite a few items during the season. We do everything seasonally, and we take about 150 pieces a day. So it's pretty busy.
Fantastic. So, are you a parent?
I am a parent.
Tell me
I
about
know.
that.
Tell me about yourself. I talk about my business. Um, I am a parent. I have two boys. I have an 18 and a 15-year-old. My 18-year-old is away at boarding school for cross country and track. He's an elite athlete. And my younger son is a competitive cheerleader. He cheers out of a gym in Duluth called the Jayhawks. He's amazing, and it's really fun being a parent. The one thing I do miss, I have to say, is I would have loved to have a teenage girl to help with the business. The boys have never really been interested.
That's awesome.
So,
I can imagine at your sister's closet having a girl here would be fantastic. So, tell me what's been more challenging, being a business owner or a parent?
um, you know what? To delve a little bit deeper than that, I feel like just being a confident woman is a challenge because some people don't really respond very well to women who take charge, and I'm a single mother, and so I really kind of have to fight on the front line for my boys, and they're both athletes, and so I'm constantly dealing with coaches, and I kind of hold no bar. So I'm, do my research before I step into a lot of things, including a business. And I have a merchandising background, which I acquired in college. I have an Associates of Arts degree. And so I have a confidence level that brings me into a lot of arenas that women don't always find themselves in. And
Fantastic.
so I think that's probably the most challenging, not to shrink behind your own life.
That's awesome. So, before opening the store, were you already in the retail business?
I actually was. Sorry. Or you want to ask me again? Okay.
I'll ask the question again.
Okay.
So, before opening the store, were you already in the retail business? And if so, where?
I actually started my career in retail when age 17. I worked for a shop called the Body Shop. It was kind of a teeny bopper type store. Cindy Lauper and Madonna were popular then, and they had a lot of trendy clothes. And then I went into shoes. I worked in Cole Haans, and I wanted to work in shoes because I really wanted to get a level of customer service background. I really always loved retail, and I liked the boutique environment the most because when you go into a boutique, a lot of times the women in there are excited to see you. They're not bothered by your presence, and you don't feel like you have to chase somebody down to get attention. So I went into shoes. At the time when you would buy shoes, the salesperson would get on their knee. And so that was really humbling, and I felt like it was a good addition to my resume. I looked at going to a merchandising school here in Atlanta. I'm from Tallahassee, and I went to the Atlanta Art Institute in major in merchandising and got my Associates of Arts degree. And so I went right into retail. I worked for Guess at Lenox Mall in Riches, and then I was promoted to the Esprit manager at Riches. They had their own store. It felt very special because it was kind of a separate entity, but still, umbrellaed by Riches. And then I was offered a position to bring Origins, which is a cosmetic company that's owned by Estee Lauder, to Lenox. It was the first Origins counter in Atlanta. So I was hired on as the manager to bring the counter to Lenox Mall. It was such an exciting event because it was all, no animal testing, natural based products. Everybody was really excited about it. There was a lot of celebrities down in Buckhead at the time, and people would come in and, Natalie Cole bought from us. Prince, his stylist came in. It was one of the biggest sales I ever had. It was like a $900 sale. And that was really exciting. The lead singer of the Fugees came in, and just really cool environment and a great product. And when that started to pick up and everything was getting exciting, I got a promotion and I went to the Lancome counter as the manager, and then I was promoted to a regional manager. So I had the richest stores and would move from store to store. So that gave me a lot of exposure in the retail, and I also got to see how the clothing side of things was being handled. In cosmetics at the time, it wasn't open sale, so people had to come to you and you really had to cater to their needs and really be specific and be very customer service oriented. And I feel like I was with Riches and had all of the local stores. It was 12 stores, and I had the Lancome counters, and I oversaw the counter managers, and then came in and did special events, gifts, that kind of thing. So you really get to see like a lot of excitement. There's just a lot going on all the time. And when there's nothing going on, it's really fun to get people that are at the counter pumped up about the things that are up and coming. Lancome was a great company because they used to do a lot of sales meetings. There was a lot of incentives. They had a lot of loyalty programs. We got a lot of gratis, which meant that we got all the makeup new before it ever hit the stores. And then we would go to sales events, and they would show us how to use everything, and they would give us big lunches and just things that really made you loyal to the company. And those are the things over the years that I've picked up to bring to my own business. The merchandising when I was in college, the service industry, really, not really holding back when a customer's here. I had a lady in the other day, and she had done something to her back, but she wanted a pair of shoes, and I was on the floor before she could even say, I can't get this buckled. And that's the kind of stuff that I think that people miss now in retail. You don't see those things anymore, even in a boutique. And that's the thing that I pride myself on here. But it's been a career I've learned over the years. And, I've had to groom myself through my own experiences. And that's what I think has brought me to this successful point. I have a business that has a great reputation. Consignment is a very touchy business because you're dealing with other people's clothing and there's money involved. And anytime you touch with somebody's money, there can always be, issues. but I feel like I represent my clients and I represent myself. I am a, member of this community. I live here. And I've had some really great compliments over the years of people who have said that I'm, a really good addition to a community like this. And I'm not from here. So that says a lot to be included as a, member of the community or a valuable member of the community, things like that.
Well, I must say, as a customer of yours prior to this interview, I absolutely agree. I love your store. I love what you're doing. And I'm so glad that you're here.
You're so sweet.
I really mean that. So, who was the person or what was your inspiration to actually launch your own store?
You know what? It's amazing that you asked because it was kind of it was a God moment, honestly. I went to cosmetology school after my divorce and was here locally at a salon. And my boss brought me into town for lunch and we drove by this store. It was a children's consignment store at the time. And she said, "Oh, so and so's mother owns that." And I thought, that's really cool. I would love to do something like that someday. Well, 2 years later, I was in a horseback riding accident and I broke my neck. And I was in the halo. Well, I couldn't work for a period of 3 months. Well, catastrophic things like that sometimes can really change your perspective on life. And the salon industry is a lot of fun, but it is like sleepover all the time. It's always play. And I just wasn't really ready to go back and not take my life seriously. And an opportunity came available from the owner of the children's consignment store to bring on women's clothing to her store and merchandise her store. So I actually came to work here first. And I didn't really know it at the time, but when I came into the store, just my ideas started flowing. I started thinking, well, we could do this, and there's so much more that we could do, and we could do paint, and all of these things were, generating inside of me because I feel like she had kind of burned out. And so I was excited about something new, and I got an opportunity about 6 months in to purchase the store. And I purchased it as a children's consignment store, bringing on women's. And I took 48 hours and flipped it from the children's, bringing on women's, to women's and children's. Got some painters and some contractors in here. Took about a week and opened a new store and called it Your Sister's Closet. Because where do you get your best clothes? Out of your sister's closet. So it made a lot of sense. And looking back on it now, it was such an amazing opportunity for me. It really kind of brought everything into focus for me. My boys at the time were kind of feeling my lackadaisical attitude with the salon industry. And when I opened up my own shop, it kind of created a level of respect. And they were a little bit surprised and mesmerized at my strength. And I think it really kind of just brought them into another appreciation for their mother.
That's an awesome story. So, did you clean out your personal closet to get your first batch of inventory?
No, I didn't. You know what's so funny is it's